everybody, Josh and Brad with All Eyes on Fishing. Today's quick tip, we're going to show you real quickly how to go ahead and tie a spinner or a crawler harness. We get a lot of readers and a lot of people who follow us who ask, what size hooks do you use? What kind of leader? What pound test? How do you guys tie your knots, and what length do you use your leaders? So what we're going to do real quick is a quick tip on how to go ahead and tie those leaders. First off, what you need to do is we're going to go ahead and get 12-pound Berkley professional leader material, and we're going to go ahead, and I do most of my basic spinners with 4-foot leaders. So all I do is I measure 4 feet approximately. It usually ends up being about 4 feet and some change, and that way I know all of mine are about the same. If you're an open water trolling guy, it's probably going to be a little bit more. I just take it and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more just to be sure when I tie those hooks, and then that's the amount of leader I use. So one of the biggest questions we get asked is, what hooks do you guys use? I know a guy that use a lot of different size hooks. Some guys use smaller, some guys use bigger, some guys use trebles as their last hook. For us, for me anyways, I like to use the VMC size 2 wide gap walleye hook. I use a red one in the front and a bronze or a black one in the back. VMC doesn't make a red hook, so I will find a secondary hook from either Bass Pro or Cabela's that can go in the front, but I like that VMC wide gap walleye hook to go in the back of my harnesses. When you guys go to tie these, what you want to do, it's very simple. You just want to slide your line through the top half of the hook. You don't want to come up from underneath. You want to come down through the top. This is going to end up being the last hook in your harness. I keep a little pigtail. You don't have to keep much, okay? You just pull it, you hold it down the back of the hook. Grab your main line, which is the line that goes up to what's going to eventually be the top of your harness. You want to grab it, you want to wrap it just underneath the eyelet bend of the hook, and you want to do it 7 or 8 times, nice and tight, so you get that good wrap up along the hook. After it looks like this, you just want to hold your wraps so they don't come off. And this is the simplest part about tying this knot onto these for these harnesses. Now you come up through the bottom side. You come up through the bottom half of the hook. You pull it through, pull out your slack, hold it, and pull it tight. And that is not going to go anywhere. It pulls down on itself. You have this pigtail end, and you pull it down. Later, after you get done tying your harness, you can trim the pigtail end off, and that is a knot that is going nowhere. Next, you want to take your second hook. You want to slide it up from underneath. Not from the top end like we did first, but from underneath. If I can hit the hole. And you go all the way through. You pull it all the way down until you get about 4 finger lengths from the top of your first hook. I always estimate it about, like I said, 4 finger lengths, maybe 5 inches. Okay? Same thing. You hold the line down the spine of the hook, just like you did before with your pigtail end. Take your main end that goes up towards the top of your harness, wrap it underneath the eyelet 7 or 8 times. It really doesn't matter as long as you get that good wrap, okay? With your wrap, slide your finger up so you can hold it. Take it from the underside of the hook again, from the underside of the eyelet, run it through the eyelet, and pull it up. Grab the bottom of your hook so you don't hook your finger, and pull it up nice and tight. That is going absolutely nowhere. Grab your bottom hook, pull them both. There's your hook setup for your harnesses. It's that simple. So next I take my beads, and it's going to be 4mm or 5mm beads. You can use smaller or bigger. Open water guys might want to use bigger baits if you're pulling Erie or one of the Great Lakes and you want to use a bigger bead for more flash. But I generally use 4mm beads. And what I will do is I will line 5 beads on per harness is my basic count. I can do more or less, but usually 5 beads is a good spacer for a number 4, number 5 Colorado blade. I will go up to the top part of my harness and I will run my beads, all 5 of them, down through the harness and just let them fall all the way down. And at that point, after they've fallen all the way down, I make sure I have a good space between my hook and where my blade or my clevis will go. I take the top half that I just had and I use quick change plastic clevises. You can buy them packs of 20 or 30 or whatever you find. They're not expensive. and I use a quick change clevis. You come up from the bottom of the clevis. So the part that's at the bottom of where you would hook in your spinner blade. Run it up from the bottom, and I loop it, or I let it fall all the way down to where my end spinner blade is that simple. To finish out your rig, all you want to do is tie 2 overhand knots. If you tie just one with the clear, the either mono or with your other type of line that you use, it will slide and it will close up on you or pull out, and you'll end up losing fish. So what you want to do is you want to just do an overhand knot. You want to get a good loop, and I get a decent sized loop so I don't have to mess with trying to find a smaller loop and snap things on it while I'm out there fishing and trying to be fast. I'll just tie 1 overhand knot back down on itself, and I'll tie another back down on the same knot just to secure it, to make sure it won't slide closed. And it's that easy to keep that nice and secure. I'll clip the tag end so it's small, and then I have a completed crawler harness.